a whole thing.
This is the details we gotta nail down.
Oh, look at this. Whoa.
Yeah, he's shiny. That is what I'm practicing on.
Practice.
No! That one was Chrissy.
That's good.
That Chrissy showed me that so
Call Chrissy in here.
yeah, maybe we get the ringer in.
So what I'd like you to do is update this. We'll do black and white, no color. And I think we just give that to them as a blueprint.
Yeah.
And then I think we will be ready to hand this off to production for the top. We can get the top done, we can get the aprons done, and we can like look at it. And we might just say enough is enough. Like that is enough fanciness. What are you eating?
A little early for Wendy's.
Sausage biscuit?
Yeah.
Good cheese on that. We got the final topper design for the hex table. So Hunter's been working on these. Looking great. So I want to go look at it. I want to go look at the blueprint and talk about how we're going to approach building it. We're going to bring that guy because he helped whip up some of the jigs with the bushing offsets to make this. And I think we're going to need a couple to tackle the topper too.
Okay.
So I laid it out upstairs. This is a really big piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's actually two big pieces of paper, but they're the same.
Got it.
Take the other one and spin it around and stick it together. That'll be a whole topper. So this should be full scale to the topper. But just to talk through it, this banding around the outside is burl. So this is all squiggly looking. And then this skinny line right here is a silver string. And then for the middle, we've got another hexagon with some little coves around the edge. Basically the same border, just shrunk down and framing this inner field. This is supposed to be quarter sawn oak. These lines here are just to illustrate the direction of the grain. So it gives you sort of like a sunburst type pattern. So now we just gotta, how are we gonna make it?
Installing that burl stuff, you're gonna have to potentially miter stuff and get.
Yeah, for sure. These will join.
Yep.
Like so.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to do that.
These straights will just be straights.
Yep.
And these segments of circle are going to be separate pieces.
I think so.
And then we're going to miter those to, we'll install these, trim, miter them together.
Yes.
I agree. That's how we should do it.
I don't know if I could make one solid jig on my machine.
But I bet we can make a half jig. We could have two half patterns. We have a whole pattern. And then, I think we just fix the table together, and then we just carefully place this and do perimeter cutting.
Yeah, at that point, it's a skill issue. Just making sure everything's lined up right and all that good stuff. I mean...
But we got tons of that. So we'll be all set. If we were just going to use the same strategy as we were talking about for that, this basically wouldn't exist.
Right.
This would just be Wenge. You'd have your burl.
Yep.
This wouldn't exist. That would just be background.
Yep.
Silver background.
Yeah. The thing also to remember and consider is spacing on this stuff fully is determined by our bushing sizes. We're limited to our tools.
Based on the bushing sizes we have, that starts to dictate where things are going to land. The advantage of that is you put a jig in place once, it stays there, and you can do all your work just by changing bushings, and you know they're going to line up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to whip up a couple little sample bits, make sure the jig conceptually works. We'll do a little bushing math. Then we'll make some jigs.
So, this is a topper.
So far, I did some tests with one of each of these guys, sent it over to CNC, and it came out looking pretty good.
Because these are quite large, and we're doing a lot of veneering and different inlays, we opted to build these the way we build the Prophecy toppers for maximum stability. Hunter prepped the core, and it's just waiting, it's ready to go. So we're getting the veneer stitched up now. We're gonna veneer the entire topper as if it was just a Wenge topper. Then we have a series of jigs that we're building to route out the different bandings and stringings and central inlay panel. Yeah. So we made the first jig, which is actually to do the central panel. We can go take a look at it if you want. Hunter's gonna test that today. Yeah, you wanna go take a look at the jig, see how it works?
Sure.
Okay. Ta-da! Let me get a piece of wood.
That's it?
How beautiful does that look?
That's pretty good.
So we will find the center of our panel. Bink! We'll line it up like that. And then using a hand router and a series of different bits and different bushings,
Yeah.
we'll cut out the different elements.
Okay.
You know what a bushing is?
Yeah.
You know how this works?
I know how it works. I don't know if
I think other people know how it works. So bushing is a thing that you screw into the bottom of your router, which has a diameter, and it's gonna run along this fence. I'm gonna draw a diameter. Here's a bushing. This is a bushing.
Yeah.
It goes in the bottom of your router. This diameter rides against the fence, like this.
Yeah.
This could be the size of a bushing, and this could be the size of a bushing. Then you have the diameter of your actual router bit, your cutter. That's gonna make a channel in that location.
Yep.
Same thing with this little guy. This is gonna put one like this. You could take this little router bit, put it in a bushing this big, and now that little router bit is gonna move the line over here.
Yeah.
So with this one jig setup, we can vary the locations of these different elements.
Got it.
That's the theory. Bennett did a bunch of bushing math to figure out which combinations of bushings and router bits we want to get the elements in the right place. Now Hunter's gonna find out how good at math Bennett is.
Generally pretty good.
We'll see.
I'll be starting this one with our 3/8 bit just to get the outline of the mortise. I'm not hogging out the whole mortise this time around. We're just doing alignment tests right now. Hopefully everything lines up at the end. This is a little scary. This has to be exactly exact or it's not gonna line up, it'll be very obvious.
It is not 100% perfect,
It is not.
but it could be. Yep, and everything else lined up perfectly
Everything else looks
right off
perfect.
the jig.
Yeah.
So, this right here is the outline of the mortise, where we need to put in some veneer. So step one is remove all this material in here. Now, we're gonna just do that with a hand router, but if you use a router with a tiny little base like this, what happens is as you're removing it, your reference surface gets smaller and smaller, and eventually you lose it. So it can be difficult to get it nice and flat with a tiny little router base.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a much larger one so that we can use the tabletop surface as our reference, and you'll be able to route away this material, keeping the bottom of the mortise nice and flat. Testing all the jigs.
Yeah.
So Hunter has the pockets routed out and shaped. It's not necessarily the right depth, but this is the right outside shape. We made these veneered panels. Because pearl veneer in particular can get, as it dries, very wavy, it can be difficult to cut out an exact shape because it's moving all over the place. So what we opted to do was take a little bit of MDF, veneer this, a very thin piece. So instead of a wavy veneer, we would have a flat veneered panel that we will then insert into the topper. We had to do an edge of wenge on it because the design actually comes all the way to the edge of the topper. So when this gets glued down, it'll be encapsulated. You won't see anything from the edge.
Right.
And they fit well. So now we went through the process of laying up the veneered panels. Should fit just as well, but we gotta check and find out. It looks good. So, yeah, we're gonna run up the real toppers and then do the stringing, do the burl banding, and then pop these guys in.
be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, basically, we do have one more string channel to put this way, and then I think once you're done with the string, Evan is cutting out some burl for this banding, the wide banding here. So since Hunter's being a hog and taking up the whole table, I figure we can steal this first downdraft table in there. Sorry, we still have tape on half of it, Matt. But that looks like it lines up pretty good.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Very happy with that grain direction.
Perfect. Kind of wish I had the border on it, but I think it looks pretty good, like size-wise. So this is ash. This is the quarter sawn flecky oak. This is what was in the drawing. I do like the sunbursty pattern of it. Not sold on it. I'll put the last one on. So this is burl. This is what we used on the aprons. You lose that spray, the directionality that leads you into the center. And it's more just like, wow, look at that crazy grain.
It's too much.
That's the vibe.
I think I am on Team Ash.
Whoa.
I think I'm also on Team Ash.
What?
Yeah, surprising.
It's a complete coup. Complete just like takeover.
Yeah,
It's like, screw your drawings and your concepts.
it pops really nice. Doug will love it.
You think so?
He loves Ash.
He does. Sometimes you just have to go with your gut. All right, get the glue. Let's do it. I wouldn't wear it. Hunter, were you climbing through the dustbin? How did you make your sweatshirt look like that?
The dumpster outside is fun.
It was dumpster diving.
With a kilt on. It's exfoliating.
I hate these bottles.
What?
This. That's a glue bottle.
What's wrong with this?
It doesn't work right. Good. Okay, this one's glued up. Hunter's going on vacation tomorrow.
Can you just go on vacation?
If COVID's a vacation, sure.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna have to finish this without you.
Sucks.
Okie dokie.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
You don't understand me. When you walk, when you used to run, you might as well be standing.
Yeah?
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Just me?
Yeah.
Okay.